I, male 52, have two children we'll call Bob, male 26, and Meg, female 22. Meg was born male but began to transition to female a year ago. My dad gave my mom a huge and expensive diamond ring for their 30th wedding anniversary, and when she died in 2009, her will stated that everything went to my dad except that ring, which is to pass on to the next born female in our family. I only have one sibling, a brother, and like me, he didn't have a daughter, so we just figured out one of us would eventually have a granddaughter and she would get the ring. The ring was last appraised in 2004 for $1.2 million. I don't know what it's worth now. Meg and I have always had a contentious relationship. She was always having problems in school, always causing problems with her mom and brother, who wouldn't listen to anyone, had never held a job for more than a few weeks, had been arrested for shoplifting, just been a tough kid to raise. She still lives with us and we still pay for everything. A few weeks ago, she said that she wanted my mother's ring. I thought she was kidding, but when I said no and laughed, she exploded, called me all kinds of names, and threw food all over the kitchen before storming out. I wanted to change the locks while she was gone, but I calmed down because I knew that would probably lead to a bad outcome. My wife initially agreed with me, but has now started to think that Meg should get the ring. I will not give her the ring, and here is why. It would fracture my relationship with my brother. I'm not 100% sure that Meg didn't transition specifically to get this ring. She said several times that we're dumb not to sell it. While it is very extreme to transition just to get a ring, children have killed their parents for less money. Meg has already asked her grandparents and us for her share of the inheritance. I hate the thought of it too, and I hope it's not true. Even though this wasn't an issue my mother ever thought about, I'm positive that she wanted the ring to be passed down from daughter to daughter, so that no one could ever lose it in a divorce. My daughter dates women, which could lead to the exact problem my mom wanted to avoid. I'm willing to accept my daughter as she is, and I try my best not to dead name her and use the right pronouns. I still support her, she's on my insurance, and I pay for her medication that insurance doesn't. It's been hard for the whole family and we're all doing the best we can. Her doctor said that being trans may be the reason she struggled so much growing up, and at the end of the day, I just want my kids to be healthy and happy. I don't feel like I'm being an idiot here, but with my wife starting to question the situation, I thought maybe I'd get some outside perspectives. Edit, the ring is in a safety deposit box in another city. Meg doesn't even know who to contact to see if she'd be eligible for the ring. In that sense, I'm stopping her from getting the ring. I'm not sure what the exact wording of the will is, but it's a legal document and very specific about how the ring should transfer. I've not told Meg that I suspect she transitioned just to get the ring, but she's always treated us, especially me, like a resource, not like family. Not the idiot. Hey OP, my older sister acts very similarly to Meg, but she's not trans. Let's take trans out of the equation. Meg throws tantrums and has said she'll sell the ring. Trust me, she'll do just that. My sister stole and sold my grandmother's ring, which was supposed to come to me. She also stole and sold my Scottish great-grandmother's platinum bracelet that was supposed to come to me. I can't get those things back. My older sister is now in jail at 38 for not paying her registration and car insurance. Meg has said she wants to sell it. The grandmother said she wants it to remain in the family. Even if she was born female, that's a good reason to be hesitant. Make a replica ring, give it to Meg, and see how quickly she sells it. Honestly, that's diabolical, but it would prove OP's point pretty fast. I'd play it off like it's legit even after the fact. Oh, it's not actually valuable? Well, it's meant as an heirloom, so that wasn't the point anyway. Those are the reasons not to give it to her, and those are the reasons you will give her and anyone else who pushes her to get it. Hold on to it for a future granddaughter. Don't pass it to a daughter-in-law, because if one day your son's or nephew's marriage doesn't work, you do not want the ring to leave the family. Everyone's the idiot here. The family needs to plan for Meg's transition to independence. She's completely dependent, and that's not healthy. It might be, say, a 3-year plan, i.e., it's not about throwing her out tomorrow, but she needs a path to standing on her own 2 feet. Once there's a plan, she needs to be held accountable for it. She may be chronologically an adult, but not functionally an adult. There's no point in discussing the ring until she is. It's just another distraction, another excuse for her not to be a responsible adult. It's completely unacceptable for her to throw food at age 22. She's an emotional infant. Mom and Dad allowed her to get to that state, so I bet there's some serious enabling in the family. I have 3 siblings and my mom is a single mom in a very high cost of living area. Needless to say, we were broke growing up. My oldest sister always wanted what everyone else had, so she started working when she was 11. When she was a young teen, she got a babysitting job for an extremely rich family. The family always treated her really well. When they upgraded their phones or computers, they offered her their old ones for free. They had her travel with them. She was technically working, but she did get to see 12 countries in 3 years and flew first class every time. And they even gave her interest-free loans when she got a car and when she went to college. She graduated from college 5 years ago, and one of the parents got her a job at her work's childcare centre. Thanks to their support, she moved up the ladder very fast and is now managing 5 locations. I get that she did have to work, but she also got a lot of this because of who she knows. She acts like she did all of this on her own though, and she won't help her family because if she managed to get where she is, we could do it too. Our mom is behind on rent and she asked my sister to help her out. My sister is about to buy a second house. My sister refused because she doesn't think my mom has done anything to help herself. I was sick of her acting like she was better than us just because she had better opportunities, so I told her she's well off now because she was a rich person's charity case and they ensured she got good jobs and stuff. Now she's angry at me for being rude and she's refusing to help us out or talk to us. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot. No one is entitled to her money and she's able to do what she wants with the money she's earned. Sister must have done a good job in the first place for that family to keep her around. And what has your mother done to help herself? Don't get petty and jealous at your sister's success. She's worked very hard to get where she is. Totally. I'm curious why she doesn't want to help her family though. I'm not at all saying they're entitled to her money, but most people from healthy environments wouldn't be so against helping out in such a scenario. I wonder if the sister was parentified and wanted out as soon as possible. I'm pretty sure sister didn't just decide to start telling mom, "No, I won't help you," out of nowhere. There's probably a lot of history that goes into her decision that OP is conveniently leaving out. She's probably been helping them since she was 11. She's off the hook now, realizing she should have never had to do that. You are the idiot, OP, so get a job. I, a teen, like digital drawing a lot. My parents put me in art classes when I was a pre-tween to give me something to focus on after my mom died. It helped and I've grown enough to make it a job someday. I already do some small commissions when I want some money. I keep all my stuff on my laptop and I have it all backed up so I can keep it. In November, my dad went through my laptop when I was in school and looked at all my drawings. When I got home, he deleted everything I'd made and he wanted me to delete all my backups that he knew I had. What set him off was that I had a folder full of drawings of the family, but none of them included his wife or my 2 half-siblings. They got married 5 years ago and my half-siblings were born after that. He didn't like how I could draw mom into a lot of stuff, how I could include pets and grandparents and stuff, but not the blended part of our family. It's not that I hate my dad's wife or my half-siblings because I don't, and I never did. But I don't love them. I like them and care about them. I'd never want anything bad to happen to them, but they're not new mom and full sibling level to me. We get along fine, but when it comes to my personal art, I draw the things and the people I love. Some stuff I do for others or for the art class, but the personal stuff is personal. I wouldn't delete the backups and my dad punished me. He talked to me after the punishment was up and he told me it was time to delete them again. Again, I didn't. My grandparents stepped in to speak up for me and my dad said they needed to stay out of it. He blamed them for some of it. My half-siblings never did the 1 day a week with them. My mom was home and wanted them with her, so it made sense. But Dad said that taking me and my siblings for that 1 day made me think we were different from the halves or something. My grandparents tried to talk him down, but he meant it when he said they had to stay out of it. I still didn't delete anything and I was grounded for 3 weeks because of it, and it didn't make me give in. So he decided to take my laptop and my art tablet and he told me I couldn't draw until I deleted the backups. He said I can get them back when I delete everything. He said there is no reason for me to have and keep art like that. He said it wasn't good that I'd drawn so much that it excluded part of our family. He told me he wasn't letting me get away with it. We're a couple of weeks in now. I draw a little at school, which helps me not go crazy without it. I do miss drawing, but I'm not deleting stuff that means something to me. I can survive 3 years of not doing it much, but am I the idiot for not deleting it? My dad thinks so. He said he didn't know why I was being so stubborn about this and why I was trying to hurt everyone. Oh yes, how dare you have personal creative expression and not cater it to your dad's exact emotional needs. I mean, clearly the only purpose of art is to be a propaganda machine for his ideal version of the family. Forget that it's your passion, your memories and your feelings. Nope, gotta make sure stepmom and the half-sibs get equal screen time, or else it's disrespectful. Honestly, the level of control he's trying to exert here is wild. Deleting your artwork like it's some kind of thought crime, grounding you for not erasing your own memories, taking away your laptop like you committed artistic treason. If this were a dystopian novel, he'd be the villain burning books. Stick to your guns, Picasso. He can take your tablet, but he can't take your creativity. And let's be real, 3 years is a long time, but you're already outsmarting him by drawing at school. The man's fighting a losing battle. Stay strong. You're not the idiot. I hate to encourage young people to leave their family, but if you're in the States, some states consider you an adult at 17. Then you can move in with your grandparents, and he could do nothing about it. You can also petition the court to become emancipated before that. I don't think CPS is going to help. Unfortunately, they have their hands full. Grounding a child for doing something the parent doesn't approve of will be a low priority on their radar. They're just too overwhelmed. I, 35 female, planned a cruise for my husband, 35, and myself to celebrate his birthday and our wedding anniversary. I spent 3 months planning and coordinating with my parents so someone could stay with our 2 school-aged children so we could enjoy a solo trip. Having my parent fly over 8 hours to stay with them and another to pick us up in Florida at the airport. We travelled and boarded the ship. As soon as we got to our room to store our carry-on bags, my mother-in-law called. She excitedly explains that she and her husband are on the ship. My mood instantly shifts. This is not someone with whom I have a good or close relationship at all. My husband is on active duty, so vacations are not something that regularly happens or is not easy to plan. I told him I wasn't thrilled, but he was excited to see his mom. That was the only time I addressed the situation, kept my mouth shut, and was cordial for 7 full days as I was a third wheel on the vacation that I planned. We spent the bulk of the trip with my mother-in-law as her husband wasn't feeling well. Many other things were left out, but I think I mentioned most in the main points. The day after we made it home, I did have an attitude and let my husband know how truly upset I was, and he went off on me, stating that his mother did nothing wrong, but he can see where I could be upset. Am I the idiot for being upset that my vacation was crashed and, in my opinion, completely ruined? Edit, the mother-in-law was never invited. I planned a trip for my husband and myself to celebrate both our anniversary and his birthday since they're in the same week. My mother-in-law was aware of the trip as we were excited about it and had no reason to hide it. Who would assume someone would show up on a couple's child-free trip? Before the trip, my husband was unaware that my mother-in-law had bought tickets to go on the ship with us. I addressed my not being happy immediately after knowing she was on the trip. His excitement outweighed my disappointment at the time. His words. Not the idiot, and this is a big old red flag. Your husband's behaviour always grinds my gears because it makes clear that he sees his parents as more his family than you. If my partner planned a cruise for me, on the long list of things that would run through my mind that I'd be excited about, seeing my parents isn't anywhere on the list. Stand your ground on this one. He needs to respect the concept that you two have a relationship outside of his mommy. Hey now, the question we should all be asking is, who is OP to try interfering with the marriage between a, checks notes, man and his mother? Seriously though, yikes, on an anniversary trip? Did she crash the honeymoon too? Because an anniversary trip sans kids is like one step below a honeymoon trip in terms of we want alone time. Let's not forget he hid it from his wife that his parents were joining them. That is extremely telling behaviour. So did his parents, as a matter of fact. There's a lot of lying going on for this to happen. He had to tell them their plans explicitly so they could be on board a cruise they were on. There's no way to get around that fact. OP is not the idiot. Her husband and his family are, though. My husband is a nice guy, but sometimes he doesn't listen to me, and that really triggers me if he does it frequently enough. For example, he will ask if I want some oranges. I'll say no thank you, then he'll peel some oranges for me and offer me some, and then I'll say no thank you, and he leaves the bowl of oranges there. But imagine this happens for multiple scenarios daily. 95% of our fights are because he doesn't listen to me, thinks he knows better, and keeps insisting and imposing his ideas on me. Today, I was holding our baby daughter and eating. He told me to eat first, and he will hold our daughter. I told him I'm fine, it's finger food and I got it. I told him to eat first and then read to the toddler baby after. He insisted I eat first and told me to give him the baby. I told him again, no, I'm okay, I can hold the baby. He then came over, grabbed the baby, and repeatedly said, eat first, I'll eat after. I told him explicitly, no, let go. No, I'm fine. No, don't take her. You aren't listening to me and this will lead to a fight. This is disrespectful. Please stop. While maintaining my hold on our baby, he kept grabbing the baby from my arms and I finally let go because I didn't want to make our baby feel uncomfortable or worse, hurt her, as God forbid we drop her while both are trying to grab her. I was so angry he wouldn't listen to me again and went as far as starting a tug of war with our baby. He says he's always trying to be nice and I ended up snapping at him. It's also important to know what we value the most in our relationship is different. He values feeling like he's cared for and loved. I value being respected. I told him he was disrespecting me by not listening to me repeatedly, multiple times a week. So now I feel crazy. I know he's trying to be nice, but I end up fighting about how he doesn't listen to me at least twice a month. He's not trying to be nice, he's trying to be controlling. You have to do as he says. You must eat when he says. What's next? Ask for his permission to use the bathroom? Playing tug of war with a baby is insane. Control and other abuse usually ramp up after big events like having a baby. Is he showing any other red flags? I would also add that even if he is trying to be nice, it's not up to him to decide if he's succeeding at it. The actual impact of his behavior determines that. Instigating a tug of war with a baby because you know better is not particularly nice. He's not trying to be nice. People who try to be nice don't do things they are explicitly told not to do. OP, he sounds exhausting. I know he's your husband and you love him, and I'm not suggesting you leave him over it or anything, but my God, if someone were being nice to me like that, they'd quickly find themselves out of my life.